Hey guys, Ezo here. With the first of the big content patches for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward coming out soon, I thought now might be a good time to release a video on the top 5 things I want to see in Final Fantasy XIV. Dynamis. Dynamis was one of the endgame contents in Final Fantasy XI, which saw large groups of players inside an instance dungeon fighting hordes of monsters for some sweet loot. So why would 14 benefit from something like this? Well, the current endgame raid and future raids shoehorn players to fit a very strict meta, the 2-2-4 or 3-6-15 formation. Having an endgame instance where you could go in from anywhere from 4 to 24 characters empowers players with having actual control over how they want to play and how they want to group up. Think of it like being Circus Tower, but you could go in with however many people you like, and whatever jobs you like. Also, the trash in Dynamis could drop very rare and some incredibly useful armor, meaning even if you didn't clear the area, you could still potentially get some very nice loot. It's kind of like a dungeon crawl. 14 could really benefit from this. Make the items rare, make the raid fun, and give the players the choice of picking their own composition. Give it a timed lockout too. Thankfully, something similar to this is being released in patch 3.1. We'll have to see how this goes. Personally, I'd prefer it to have taken place in an instance dungeon, but open world's cool too. Regional influence. Regional mechanics are very prominent in other MMOs. It gives players a reason to group up with others from the same faction or grand companies. How about awarding points for each fate completed based on the player's grand company alignment? The points are tallied, and at the end of each week the grand company in the lead receives a bonus, perhaps unlocking items or equipment from that specific grand company's vendors. Basically, grand companies in this patch have very little reason to exist besides the annoying involvement in PvP, and they only seem to be part of the old storyline and have kind of phased off into irrelevance. Grand companies are supposed to be the foundation of Eorzea, but in actual fact they just stand around with little to no real purpose. Wider endgame integration. Yoshi P has stated he wants the best gear to come from the endgame raids, otherwise no one would do them, but only a fraction of the community have even cleared the first Alexander Savage raids. So does this approach work? Why can the raids not drop rare materials for synthesis? Why can the gatherers not pull up a rare fish or material which can be used to spawn an optional boss in a raid which can also drop gear? I would much prefer it if the crafting and combat classes could work together in some kind of symbiosis. Having the best gear drop from one raid is not the problem, it's the lack of variety plus the bottleneck which is the issue here. I'm not asking for a fisher to just fish up an I-210 weapon, I'm asking for these disciples to be part of a wider endgame experience, beyond what they currently are now for melded gear and consumables. Meaningful itemization. Itemization in 14 is currently very linear. If you're involved in endgame raiding, cap your accuracy and get your other stats up as high as item level allows. If you're not involved in endgame raiding, then, well, it doesn't really matter. High level gear equates to a bit more being healed, a bit more damage being dealt, a bit less damage being received. It's a passive element of gameplay in a genre where it should be exciting and should allow the user to make active decisions on their gear choice beyond, hey, I need more accuracy because I'm missing. Adding passives, latent effects, traits, enhancements, set bonuses on gear is a good thing. Adding variety is also a good thing. The safe linear approach that the game currently takes, and has taken for a long time, hinders variety, creativity and uniqueness in the game. It really needs to take some chances when it comes to gear design. Romance. Rapport. So some of you guys might be surprised to see this on top of the list instead of the choices before it. The reason why is because the hero you play as is basically a hapless victim on the railroads called the Final Fantasy XIV storyline. Remember the Beastman Tribe quests? Something similar like that, but for whoever, pick an NPC. Minfilia, Tataru, Alphinaud. Remember, this is supposed to be a role-playing game. Having some actual interaction with NPCs that deviate from the main story is a good thing. It allows players to discover more about an NPC if they want to. And honestly, the reward just needs to be a cutscene where you discover a bit more about the NPC. Their personality, their history, some kind of unique gear. I mean, let's say you just got max rapport with Y'shtola, and then a pop-up box appears that reads, invite Y'shtola back to your private chambers. Wait, Y'shtola, why are you looking at me like that? With those eyes? Those big, dreamy, colourless eyes. Wait, Y'shtola, your eyes? What the fuck? Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see some of these things in 14, give the video a thumbs up, or if I missed anything let me know in the comments. See you guys in the next vid.